If you've ever found yourself lost in a Genesis album or encountered the eerie yet captivating In the Air Tonight in a movie or show, or delighted in the animated adventures of Disney's Tarzan, then you've been touched by the artistry of Phil Collins. Phil is celebrated as one of the most successful British musicians of all time. But heartbreakingly, due to health challenges, he has recently had to take a step back. Keep watching to learn what happened and why Phil Collins doesn't deserve what is happening to him. The rise of Phil's career. Phil Collins was born January 30th, 1951 in Chiswick, London. He received a toy drum kit for Christmas when he was 5 and got another makeshift set that included triangles and tambourines soon after. That began his love for music. He practiced by playing along to music on the TV and radio at home. He reportedly entered a talent contest at 7, but stopped the orchestra in the middle of the performance to tell them they were off-key. His talent and dedication were on display at an early age. He received piano lessons around age 12 and began getting drum lessons from Lloyd Ryan and Frank King. He's never learned to write or read traditional music notation, but devised his own system instead. He went to Nelson Primary School until age 11. He was then accepted into Chiswick County Grammar School, where he played football and formed a band called The Real Thing. He wrote his first official song, Lying, Crying, Dying, with his next group, Freehold. His career took off, though, when he became the drummer for rock band Genesis in 1967. He also took over as singer when Peter Gabriel left. They reached major success in the 80s, selling over 100 million records and becoming one of the best-selling bands of the era. Phil also became a solo sensation after the release of his single In the Air Tonight in 1981. He had 3 number-1 singles in the UK and 7 in the US in that time alone. He had more top 40 singles than any other artist throughout the 80s. A few of his other most well-known songs include Against All Odds, One More Night, Sussudio, 2 Hearts, and Another Day in Paradise. He was a major star on his own, but later returned to Genesis. He's sold an estimated 150 million records throughout his career. He's even had minor roles in a few films and stage productions. He played the Artful Dodger in a London production of Oliver as a child. He was also an extra in the Beatles film A Hard Day's Night in 1964. Other roles came in Calamity the Cow in 1967, Buster and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang in 1968, and 1991's Hook. He's also written the soundtrack for several successful films. You'll Be in My Heart from 1999's Tarzan spent 19 weeks at number 1 on the adult contemporary charts, the longest ever at the time. It also won a Golden Globe for Best Original Song. All these pursuits have earned him a major fortune. He has an estimated net worth of approximately $260 million, or 198 million pounds. The final show. Phil performed on the Genesis tour on March 26, 2022. He wasn't sitting behind the kit, though he did sing. The extent of his injuries was still clear as he was forced to perform from a chair and use his cane to walk. His son Nick took over for his father, who admitted it would be his last show. There was a bit of doubt because it wasn't the first time Phil brought up retirement. He said the same thing in 2004 and did a world tour in 2018. The situation is different now because of ongoing health issues. He's unable to perform without serious pain. Nick says these changes don't have to be viewed in a somber light. He knows music has given so much to his father, but believes he'll be excited to live a life where he doesn't have to give so much in return. What's the extent of his injuries? Phil began to experience severe health issues in 2007. He dislocated vertebrae in his neck on tour. It caused nerve damage that forced him to stop drumming after 50 years. He's not quite sure what happened to cause it. It most likely began after one of his famous drum duels with Chester Thompson. He had to receive surgery for the condition in 2009 and 2016. The second one forced him to walk with a cane because he lost feeling in one of his feet. That put him in the hospital in 2017 after falling in a hotel bathroom. He slipped and hit his head on a chair and had to get stitches to repair a gash on his head near his eye. He was under observation for 24 hours before being released. Phil sent out a message to the Daily Mail in 2009. He explained the damaged vertebra crushes his spinal cord whenever he gets in the drumming position. It causes him so much pain he can't even hold the sticks. He's tried every trick in the book to get back in the game, from using bigger drumsticks to taping them to his hands, but the pain was too much. His ability to play the piano was also lost. Phil admitted to mental health issues as well in 2010. The loss of the thing he had dedicated his life to made him depressed and ruined his self-esteem. He had suicidal ideations, but decided he couldn't do that to his children. He also remembered a note from a comedian who committed suicide in the 60s. It said, "Too many things went wrong often." Other issues got added to the pile in 2021 when he provided another health update. He'd begun suffering from diabetes as well after an infection in his foot. He also battled pancreatitis and was close to dying at the time. He did end the 2009 update on a positive note, saying, "Don't worry, I can still sing." This is perhaps the most positive news any fans can hope for. Handing the drumsticks to his son. Nick is Phil's first son with ex-wife Orion Seavey. They also have another son named Matthew. Phil gave all drumming duties for the rest of the latest Genesis tour to him. He insists it had nothing to do with the fact that he's the son of the boss. The reason he got the job was simply that he was good enough. Nick's been playing drums from a young age, picking up the sticks when he was 2. He also has his own band called Better Strangers. They released their debut EP titled Luna's Daydream in 2021. Nick's first official performance with his dad was on his solo tour in 2017. He was only 17 years old at the time. Phil said having his son work with Genesis was easy because the band, quote, fell in love with him. He's proud to see his son step into the role and glad they can do it together. Nick is also glad to have the experience. He released a post saying that the 2019 tour gave him the chance to represent the music he grew up with. He said he's gained so much experience and owes so much to his father for making it happen. What do his friends and family think? Fans have a right to be disappointed after learning Phil will most likely never perform again. But what about those closest to him? Gene Hackett may have had a strained relationship with the band Genesis overall, but not with all its members. He gets emotional just talking about Phil in interviews. He says he'll always love him and was the first one to say that he doesn't deserve what happened to him. Phil's daughter, Lily Collins, star of Emily in Paris, wrote a special tribute to her father. She called his last show the end of an era. She thanked the fans for all the love, the band for all the memories they've created, and her father and brother Nick for the love and inspiration they've shown her. She hasn't always had a positive relationship with her father. Her parents' divorce in 1996 was a roadblock in their relationship. They reconciled in 2017. She wrote him a heartfelt letter forgiving him for his absence during her childhood. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite Phil Collins song? Let us know in the comments section below.